Hi, friendships. I hope you're all having an amazing day or night. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to every single one of you watching this video. I honestly could not have done this without you. Today is January 12th, 2023, and Fly Away is officially 10 years old today. So that is a really huge milestone in my life, and if I'm going to be honest, a couple of years ago, around the time that Heareth came out, I didn't think I'd be sitting in this chair today saying happy 10th birthday, Fly Away. So yeah, thank you. This video is going to be a little bit different than the rest of them. This one is going to be really cool in my opinion. I'm really excited. Today I'm going to be doing a fun facts video. So yeah, that should be really exciting. Now I do want to point out that even though today is Fly Away's birthday, we will still be continuing the Fly Away birthday celebration through the rest of the month of January. So there's that. But yeah, let's get right into it, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have the videos over here on the screen, and I'll be on this side of the screen. So yeah, let's get into it. Hey friendships, before we continue on with the video, I just wanted to pop in and give a quick trigger warning. This video does touch on some heavy topics such as suicide. Viewer discretion is advised. So it was a subtitled college series. It went on to have 2 seasons. It got stopped in the middle of the second season because of plot holes, but I would just like to point out that when I was working on Fly Away before the reboot, I finished filming the whole entire second season. So I got some raw clips. They were never edited. I've got some raw photos, I've got some raw footage, but I fully wrote and fully filmed the whole second season. But before I could send out the rest of the scripts for the second season, I realized how many plot holes there were, and that's when I was like, no, we're gonna do this differently. But also, because the second season was fully written and fully filmed, it also almost went on to have a third season, which I think I got up to like episodes 3 in writing. Now, the old Fly Away did have some really fun holiday specials, which are still up on my channel. I only made it to 2. We had a Halloween special, which was about them turning into zombies, and it was, spoiler alert, just a big dream. We also had a Christmas special, and the plot of that was they were going back to East High to spend the holidays in the gym because they wanted to reminisce on their past. I remember my freshman year of high school, I was writing a Valentine's Day one, and it was supposed to be about like Matheson finally coming out to tell Star he loves her, even though she was married to Zach. So it never got finished writing, and I'm really sad that I didn't finish writing it, but also if I had continued finish writing it, I don't know if we'd be where we are today. There's a couple of episodes in the second season which were written by the original Sunshine. Also in the second season, episode 1, real Raina dabbled in voice acting, and she lent us her voice for the role of Raina. Unfortunately, she only played Raina in 1 episode, so that was really sad, but it was also really cool to see how supportive they were. Let's make a mini series. This time, we'll call it Double Love, and the theme song was High School Never Ends by Bowling for Soup. This one was supposed to take place all the way from the beginning when they were in high school, and it was supposed to run alongside Adult Fly Away. Well, like I stated before, after episode 5 premiered of original Fly Away and I realized how many plot holes there were, I was like, okay, no, we're gonna do it from the top this time. We're gonna do it all over. We're gonna start it over. So then we rebooted Fly Away. So Fly Away then became this one long series from when they were teenagers to, well, now the finale as they are adults in college. So that's really cool. So after it rebooted, in the first season of Fly Away, from like episodes, I think 11 to like 13, I want to say, Riley was voiced by the real Riley. So let's get a little bit more up to current. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the iconic bridge scenes. So in the finale, part 1, there is a scene where Star and Matheson are on the bridge, and she says to him, "But what about us?" So then they reminisce about when they met, and then before Star gets the big phone call, Matheson wants to tell Star he loves her. Well, this scene was heavily inspired by season 2, episode 14. So on this bridge, Matheson and Star had just went out on a date, and Matheson has decided this is gonna be the day he tells Star he loves her. Well, right before he can tell Star he loves her, he gets a phone call. So that's where that second bridge scene in the finale came from. It was heavily inspired by the first one. Speaking of the finale, let's talk about that big fight scene towards the end where Dustin says F all of y'all. So that scene was actually written by Godzilla Man. As you can see right here, I've got the original version of that script compared to the edited version so it fit with the finale. I remember one day in the summer, quite a couple years ago, I had received an email from Godzilla Man, and he was telling me that this great idea that he had, and it was supposed to be the end of a season. And I fell in love with the story, and I wanted to make it happen, and I knew that Flyaway was not going to be continuing for so much longer, so I wanted to make it happen, so I picked the finale. And I thought it was really cool to have one of my voice actors contribute to the show like that. So I want to go back a couple of episodes. We're going to go to episode 5. I remember I submitted episode 5 to the Plum Bob Awards, and some of the things that really confused people were the broken chairs and how it was out of character for Star to want to fight Clayton. So I wanted to touch on that. When I was in high school, my boyfriend at the time was never present, and he just wasn't always there for me, and I didn't get along with other people. So I was walking to my film class one day, and there were these kids in the hallway fighting. And I didn't go to stand up for them like Star does, but I ended up finding myself in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And I ended up getting pushed. They didn't intentionally push me into this table, but I did kind of get in their way, and I ended up falling into these broken chairs and tables. And now these broken chairs and tables weren't in like the actual legit hallway. It was a corridor. So you go down the stairs, and there were like the broken chairs and stuff. Like they were just kind of in the corridor by like the doors to get out and stuff, and that's kind of where this was happening. So they weren't just like in the middle of the walkway. So that was actually based off of a real story, and I thought this was a perfect time to put this into the story because Star is already going through so much within the fact that she feels like she does not belong, and people had gotten confused about Clayton's character and why he'd want to get rid of her and why he would have any malintention for her if he wanted to be with Raina. And I wanted to clear up the reason why Clayton wants Star out of the picture is because he's jealous. He grew up with, I imagine, very like hippie parents who were never there. They didn't really pay attention to him, and now that he's got Raina in his life, he wants 100% of Raina's attention. But because Star is Raina's best friend, he knows it's going to be really hard to get that from Raina. And I mean, overall, he's not a great boyfriend for Raina anyways. So he thinks by removing Star from the picture, by making Raina not be her friend or whatever, that he gets more of Raina's attention, which as we can kind of see in the end of the episode, he kind of got a little bit of that anyways. So he kind of won anyway. Star got hurt and Dustin got suspended. So he kind of got what he wanted in the end anyways. But going back to the big fight scene, Star is going through this part in her life where she's tired of feeling misunderstood, and like she brings down all of her friends, and she just really feels like she's stuck in a rut. So after she finds out that Raina is dating Clayton, and Raina's yelling at Star saying, no, this is my time, you're not even happy for me, nobody cares about your opinion anymore, Star decides that she's just kind of done putting up with everybody's bull. Well, when she runs into Clayton bullying Garrett in the hallway, it really just sets it off because she's been bullied her whole life. That she's like, nah, I'm gonna stop this now. Well, she's used to being saved by all of her friends. And she's used to feeling like a burden, and she feels like she's only good at getting herself into trouble. So she tries standing up for herself because she wants to prove that she's a big girl and she can take care of herself. Yet she ends up getting injured and Dustin ends up going to bat for her anyways, but she totally did not intend for Dustin to get suspended and for her to get injured. She really thought she was doing this all on her own, which is also why she says, I'm not a damsel in distress, I don't need anybody's help. Because she was proving to herself that she can take care of herself, that she can be a big girl, and even though she failed in the end, she was trying to prove a point to herself. To me, when we look at Fly Away, we don't think, oh, this is Star's life. We don't think, let's give Star all this pity. We view it as a character that we can relate to. And I think that's really important, is because I don't want people feeling bad for me. I don't want people thinking that I've had all of this hard stuff thrown on me in my life, because even though I have, I want us to be able to understand that there are other people out there just like us. And I think that's a really big, important key factor when it comes to writing Fly Away, is that there's other people that understand how Star feels. There's other people that relate to Star. And I think that's why she's such a powerful main character, because she goes through the stuff that a lot of other people go through. So with that being said, I want to talk about Luella's death scene in the finale. I'm going to give a warning that this topic is very heavy. It does talk about suicide, so if you are uncomfortable with that, I recommend turning it off. In episode 5, Star has this big breakdown in front of Dustin that she doesn't know where she stands in life, and that Luella is her only friend, and she's scared that Luella's gonna die. In April 2018, I had fallen very, very low, and I ended up getting hospitalized for a week. Within this week, it gave me time to reflect on my life and how thankful I am for it, and how grateful I am to be here. And if I were not here, then Fly Away would not be able to continue, and I want to be able to help other people see that there's more to life than just the bad. And so after Luella dies in the finale, Star has this big meltdown because her cat is gone. The guy she was with had just cheated on her. Her mom's going through this really weird time where sometimes she loves Star, sometimes she doesn't like Star, so she really takes her attitude out on Star, and Star she doesn't feel like she belongs anymore. Her friends don't care about her, and she has this really big meltdown. And after my hospitalization in April 2018, I wanted to talk about it. So there was supposed to be an episode called April 2nd, and it was supposed to touch on it. But then when I decided I was cutting the show short, I decided I was going to remove it, and it would be talked about at a later time, but then the story it never came back to surface. So I briefly touched on it in the finale when Star's cat dies.